Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Careers get made today. It is all JM. We're diving deep into this. Trev's in studio. Kalen Clark, click.
Aaron Judge, 74 miles an hour down the line, double. Smooth.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Use code Talkin10. Go see the big fella as New York probably sweeps the Twins this week. I'm Jake Storielli. Behind the ones and twos is David Mendelson. And in the studio, getting nasty, making MC Studio come out east. And I'm east.
I guess.
Trevor Plouffe.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Yes, the Twins might get swept. If Luis Gil could pitch every game for you guys, that would be something. Fun night at the ballpark, though, yesterday. I know it wasn't exactly the outcome that I wanted,
Right.
but the place was jacked. I guess there was the Juan Soto basketball jersey giveaway, or is that tonight?
Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow?
Tonight.
Oh.
Tonight.
They were all wearing it on
But
the
people
field
are already
yesterday.
hype, yeah.
All the guys were already wearing it on the field.
Oh,
yesterday.
I was literally told, I told Justin Shackle,
Yeah, saw him yesterday. What's up?
Blitzball, John Boy Media, Yankees
I
Radio.
forgot he played blitzball.
Blitzball 1. I told him, I was like, Shaq, I don't bust out favors, but I was like, I might need you to put one of those basketball jerseys to the side. He goes, bro, you're my third request. He's like, you should ask Trevor.
Oh.
So you got in the mix.
This is called leverage.
So when
people.
you get to the studio today, I mean, I've got a few little birdies out there.
Dave, do you want one?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
You know what? I do it for my friends.
You know when my Lord Varys kicks in, my little birdies.
Little birdies out there. You are. You're like him / Littlefinger together. Or maybe I'm Littlefinger.
I'll show you Littlefinger. I'm excited for you tonight because yesterday's kind of you traveled in, long day.
I wasn't feeling great yesterday.
Yeah, Chinese food dinner in bed last night after the game. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it was.
That's not Trevor Plouffe in the city.
Yeah, I was tired,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. It happens.
Even I get tired sometimes.
You're a road dog.
Yeah.
I'm not tired of this. Giving out the most prestigious award in baseball. And part of me actually believes that. Because we have no bias.
No bias.
We're not selling tickets. Can I tell you something pretty sick?
Yeah, sure.
I heard a rumor that a lot of people that do business with Juan Soto are in the building tonight
Okay.
to see the effect of Juan Soto jersey night on Yankee Stadium and how powerful it is to be a part of the Yankees. And
where did this come from?
so when his off-season free agency comes up and they're talking about selling shirts and jerseys and stuff, the effect of Juan Soto being in New York compared to other options.
Are we doing Talking Baseball right now?
Let's give out some All JM awards. I'm excited. It's brought to you by SeatGeek. I told you. Code Talkin10. 10% off any tickets on SeatGeek, whether you're a new customer or not.
Kind of a stool, not really a seat, but you get the picture.
So basically, if you're going to a game and you'd like to save some money, use code TALKIN10 at SeatGeek. 10% off your next order. There's a link in the description. The app is so easy to use. I use it. Went to the Knicks last basketball game this year using SeatGeek.
I don't even want a discount. I want to pay full price.
I'd want to spend more money. Then don't use SeatGeek.
Anthony Swarzak used to say that for real.
Swizzle. Is he on the team this year? Is he on a team? Where's Swarzak?
He's fishing down in Fort Lauderdale.
Has he announced his retirement?
No, he actually was throwing this offseason. I don't know why, but what he does
Don't
is he
say I
catches-
don't know why.
Oh yeah, he's a lifer for
There's
sure.
outs in that body.
Is he going to be on the All John Boy Media team? No bias here.
There's no bias here unless for AL catcher,
there's a little bit of a
you
bias.
do cast your vote for Ryan Jeffers, who has been nothing short of magnificent, Trevor.
I don't think, look, okay, we're getting into it now. I love this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's biased for me to have Ryan Jeffers in the conversation. I understand what Sal Perez has done. I think he's the biggest reason that Kansas City is where they're at. Think about this, dude, with Sal Perez.
You say that, and then I look at their shortstop, and I
get that.
know.
I get that, but you kind of expect that from a guy like him. Like, people are expecting a big year for Bobby Witt Jr., and what he's doing is spectacular, no doubt about it. The pitching has been spectacular. I get it. But when you're getting your catcher, who's also playing a little bit of first base, a little bit of DH, to put up numbers like he's putting up, at his age. This guy was on the 2015 World Series team. It's 2024, people.
Yeah.
Like, all of his teammates are coming back to celebrate like the AL championship run in 2014, and he's still
They're doing the
catching.
10-year anniversary
It's
team.
insane what he's doing.
Sorry, fellas, got to play today.
It's crazy. So, look, I just think that, I know Bobby Witt is the new face of the organization, but Sal Perez is like a statue.
Sal's
guy.
the body.
Yeah.
Bobby's the face.
That's
Sal's
a
the body.
baby.
It goes. Normally we announce all the candidates before we dive fully into it. Adley Rutschman is on the list and deserves a mention. But the big thing for him, man, his splits, righty versus lefty. If you're a lefty pitcher, Adley Rutschman is the best hitter in the league against you. 442, a 701 slugging. That's with that wall moved out in left field. Righty Adley Rutschman is like a sick puppy right now. Unfortunately, versus righties, OPS at 641. So the perils of being a switch hitter sometimes. We'll see if that, I would guess water's going to find its level in both those numbers. You like that?
I do like that.
Both those numbers get a little closer to each other, but for where we are in the season, I think that knocks Adley out for now. Connor Wong's on this list, which...
Yeah, snaps for Connor.
Snap City for Connor Wong.
He's putting together a nice little career for himself.
Who is currently getting mentioned with top prospect Adley Rutschman and Salvi Perez, who we just talked, we're talking statues with that guy. I don't know, Trev. I'll give you another 30 seconds to talk about how good Ryan Jeffers has been.
So, he's been, with Royce Lewis out, Twins offense kind of not clicking, one or two guys at a time going. Jeffers has been the steady force in the offense. I want to see him actually catch more. Yeah. Christian Vasquez has actually caught more games than Ryan Jeffers, so he stayed in the lineup at DH. I couldn't believe he wasn't in the lineup last night. The numbers are close, okay? Like, Sal just kind of has him beat a little bit, and kind of in everything. They're the same amount of doubles. Jeffers has him in homers. Sal's got more runs driven in. He's got one more walk. The numbers are closer than you want to admit, okay? So don't be like saying, no, he's so biased. Why are you talking about Ryan Jeffers? Look at the numbers, bro.
A little teaser for NL catcher, because I think it's a similar topic for like everything just gets edged out. Ryan Jeffers has a Christian Vasquez problem currently. That, dude, we're hitting the point of the season. Like, you might have to tell Rocco, like, we got to win some ball games.
Vasquez, I think, is receives well. I think pitchers like to throw to him. Will you stop, bro?
It's nice having you in studio.
I know it is. You're looking at me funny. I don't like it. But yeah, what I think is it will happen because having Jeffers in the lineup is paramount, but you're eating up a DH spot if Vasquez is catching. So we need the DH spot, we as in me and the Twins.
Right.
He'll end up catching more. I know both you and Jimmy or you and BBD are going to vote for Sal, so I'm casting my vote for Ryan Jeffers.
Great. Cool. Just said we had no bias.
154 WRC plus for Sal, 152 for Jeffers. It's an 892 OPS for Jeffers, a 916 for Sal. These numbers are so close. Jeffers is outslugging him 547 to 531. The OBP is kind of the separator here. Sal's hitting 321.
Sal's hitting 321.
That's a BABIP thing.
Speed kills.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you.
I love Ryan Jeffers. I'm a Ryan Jeffers fantasy owner, so I'm appreciating him. Just every Salvi number's a little better. He's striking out fairly significantly less. It is Salvi.
Congrats to Big Salvi Perez.
I'm happy.
Ryan
I
Jeffers,
wanted that. I wanted that.
Ryan Jeffers, maybe we'll see you next month. I'm excited for that.
Stay in the mix.
AL first base, this is one of the ugliest ones. I'm very interested to see where your brain goes with it. Vladito is in the mix. And
He is. He's had a huge May.
yeah, and it's good to see, and it's one of those, like, sometimes I think one of my favorite parts of this exercise is getting compared to your peers. And to see that Vladdy is one of the best American League first basemen, not too far. Like the National League first basemen aren't going nuts. Well, there's two guys. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Ryan Mountcastle,
Shout out.
Bachelorette buddy. Josh Naylor, who I believe is the returning All-JM first baseman. And our guy Pasquatch, Vinny Pasquantino, back in the mix. Another part of this Royals up-and-coming team. I don't know. Salvi won last month, too, so he is chasing a daisy. What do you see at first base? Because it's tough cutting these guys up.
So when it's this close, I like to kind of. God, it's just tough because he hasn't been playing that well as of late. When it's this close, I like to go to kind of like what the impact a player has had on his team. So I'm kind of leaning Josh Naylor here. The last month hasn't been great, but the Guardians are in first place. They were carried by Josh. They've been kind of carried by, whether it's David Fry, whether it's Josh Naylor, whether it's Jose Ramirez, like these guys separately and sometimes collectively have carried this team. The power is there, 15 home runs. I mean, Vladdy's got 5, Mountcastle's got 6. Everything else is pretty close. Runs driven in, he's got 42 to their Vladdy 25, Mountcastle 20, Pasquantino 36. Like, that's kind of what I'm looking for out of my first baseman. So I think I'm leaning Josh Naylor. Maybe you can convince me otherwise.
Yeah, Naylor, those home runs stand out. It's first base. There's something about that. Like, that's baseball a little bit. Seeing him with a 15 burger on the board while everyone else is sitting 5, 6, 6. Obviously, the other guys have more doubles, and that's kind of usually how that works as you go down the list.
Plus, Vlad's a third baseman now.
Right, that's true. Vlad's
it's one game.
Vlad's back.
A lot of Vlad's expected stats. I mean, Naylor's are good, but Vlad's are better, and that's kind of been that way the last couple of years for Vlad. Like, the expected stats are better than the actual numbers on the back of the baseball card, which is interesting to me.
I honestly think if I had to bring it down to 2, I think it would be Naylor and Mountcastle. I think where Mountcastle actually gets hurt just the slightest bit, his 4 games in June have been nut job, but I currently don't see those.
We don't see that.
Yep.
That doesn't exist. This is through May. April and May. It's not 1 month.
Oh, don't forget March.
And a couple big March games.
Can you do this? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was hot.
I thought you were going to do the finger wiggle thing. I've never been able to do that.
I don't know what that means.
You see it when people like cross their hands and they get the 2 middle fingers that wiggle.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Freaky.
There's definitely a couple people in this office.
This is pretty
Jimbo
close,
can do
man.
This gets tricky for us because, as we mentioned, we have zero bias. Naylor holding it down, it doesn't feel like anyone's taken the crown from him. You know what I'm saying?
He did not have a good May. I'm looking at his May stats, or just say the last 28 days. Right. 161, 245, 425 for a 670 OPS. And Vladdy's gone the other way.
Right.
And had a huge May.
But also...
It's a collection of work.
His April and March, Vladdy had a 678 OPS.
Yeah. So it's like they're going opposite directions right now.
And Vladdy having a big June so far. Here's what I will cast my ballot for Josh Naylor, and then I will put an asterisk on that and say I think we're going to see a new AL first baseman next month. And I don't know if it's Mountcastle or Vladdy.
It's definitely a tough one. So we're both Naylor.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
That's a tough one, people.
I think that's going to change. I do.
Oh, you don't know. He can go off and.
Although I will say, we were eyeing a little teaser for the people, eyeing some home run derby tickets yesterday.
Okay.
And if you remember, last year was super right-handed, so we were like, oh, do we want to get left field, right field? There's some lefty candidates this year. Josh Naylor would be a fun home run derby guy.
Are we all going to wear cowboy hats, please?
Oh,
please.
We can talk to
It's
our
time
merch.
to arrange that.
We can talk to our merch people.
Okay.
Congrats to Josh Naylor. Going for the daisy still. Second base, another ugly one,
is
man.
ugly.
I wish I could chew off more. Jose Altuve, your returning champ, and still kind of the best offensive profile. I think the problem is he's going up against two of the guys with the best defensive profiles.
Yes.
Andres Jimenez, who has won a Platty, with Marcus Semien, who is a perennial All-JM candidate. WAR loves him. The offensive numbers are clearly, I'll say clearly a tier below, but a guy that has a massive defensive impact on the game. And Luis Rengifo's on this sheet and balling out. The games are a little short, and there's some util stuff there. What are the tea leaves showing you, Trev?
Well, do you remember when Alex Bregman was so mad at us that we didn't choose Altuve? We chose Andres Jimenez. And then he apologized to me, and then we started texting.
You guys beefed.
No, we didn't beef.
And then he apologized.
We didn't beef. He just
He reached out to ask.
He was interested in beef, but there was no beef to be had because Jimenez had been playing so well.
I eat all the beef. I'm so hungry right now.
Do you know what's in our freezer?
Yeah, I saw. I want that.
Kershaw's beef.
Teaser
Kirsch.
for a future ad.
Kirsch.
And I'm actually, I have a friend of a friend who's friends with one of Kershaw's friends from growing up.
Okay. I don't know how to. I don't even care about that at all. I don't know where to go here, Coach. This one's tough because it is okay. When you think about second baseman,
Right.
I kind of think of it as a defensive position. It's not really that anymore. We're seeing, you kind of want offense at every single position, if we're being honest. But, that's where Semien is getting the B WAR from. And, he's leading in WAR, F WAR or B WAR, over all these candidates. But 301 OBP, don't like that. A big OBP separator guy. How many times can you get on base and cause some havoc? So that's bringing it down for me.
Marcus Semien's line at the end of May, just so everyone knows, 249, a 301 OBP. So, okay, if you're doing that, you need to really be popping it. 9 home runs, which is the same as Altuve. Yeah. So, offensively, he is clearly a peg or two behind this crew. You always
stop.
God damn it.
You're doing this
that
on
one's
purpose.
on you.
No, we're doing this on
That one's
purpose.
on you.
Semien does lead in doubles. So I guess extra base hits. Semien has the most extra base hits. All these guys have played in a lot of games. Semien leads in runs, in runs driven in. He leads in walks. He's got less strikeouts than Altuve. Stolen bases is a thing still. So I think we're choosing, and correct me if I'm wrong, between Semien and Altuve. Is Jimenez out of this?
This is one of those things that's
he's been
brutal.
hit 10 times already?
That's
not
pretty
real.
crazy, right? This is where our comment section goes nuts because I don't know who's right. Has Andres Jimenez, as Marcus Semien, played better defense this year? I'm sure you could look up whatever stats you want. I bet you could watch however many highlights you want, and it would feel equal. And then offensive profile, Andres Jimenez, 9 stolen bases to Semien's 1. That's impactful. You mentioned Semien with the extra base hits.
Semien's in the 100th percentile in fielding run value. He's in the 100th percentile in outs above average with 11 already.
Sure.
That means something to me.
And what about Jimenez?
Well, we gave Jimenez the benefit of the doubt I guess it was last year because of that. Jimenez right now, according to Baseball Savant, is in the 84th percentile with
garbage.
Outs above average in the 93rd percentile with 4. So Semien's really kind of running away defensively if you're going by that metric.
Okay, so let's say Simeon over Jimenez for now.
Okay.
So it turns.
I'm comfortable with that.
It turns into a Texas two-step. Then would you rather have Altuve, who has a solid offensive profile, 795 OPS feels lesser than it normally does.
I'm voting for Marcus Semien. I'm voting for Marcus Semien. The defense has not been there for Altuve. He's -2 in outs above average on the 22nd percentile. A lot of the expected stats are down on him as well. So I don't, he's a wizard. So I don't care about expected stats with Jose Altuve because he just knows how to place the ball. Like that's the truth. But I'm voting for Marcus Semien.
Marcus Semien. Okay. No bias.
If Altuve had like a 900 OPS or something like that, like really running away with it offensively, I would probably think a little bit differently. But he's not.
Do you see any stats, Bieberton, that feel anything different?
Non-stat, typically in a situation like this, we might defer to like how good of a team are you? Both of these teams are underachieving a little bit. They've both been a little disappointing, which would be points Jimenez, but I think we're all sort of in agreement he's just shy of these two on the whole.
Shoot. He's in the discussion 100%, but I think I've made up my mind.
B-War loves Semien. F-War has Semien on the top. Again, that's probably related to defense, and the eye test does pass the stat test with Semien.
Walk and K rates are like same neighborhoods.
I think I'm not going to say you talked me into it because you can't. If I was putting together an all JM team, an American League team, to go face off against the National League team, and these were my current options,
you pick Altuve.
I would take Semien.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that would be like my 9-hole second baseman. Play defense.
If you put it that way, I would pick Altuve. We're talking about...
Wow,
I swear, if you said, hey...
Chips passing in the night.
One game.
Yeah.
Put your dudes out there. Like, I know what Semien can do.
Really?
I just think Altuve is like a winner. Like, he's... But, like, that's not what we're doing here.
That's not what we're doing here.
We're doing body of work.
OPSS, Altuve gets some steals.
God, H-Town, Funky Town, city where the top drops. Marcus.
That's a tough one.
Hey, man.
That's going to be contentious in the old graphic.
We do. Offense matters a little more than defense. It's just a fact of life. But if you're playing the best defense, Altuve's defensive numbers, Father Time is real. Size does matter sometimes. For me. That I don't know. If you're offering me probably the best defensive second baseman and one of the worst, is that fair for Altuve?
I think
mean, he's not a rise.
By the end of the year, those numbers will kind of even out.
It doesn't match the vibe, but according to the metrics we have available to us, the public.
I mean, I think Altuve's starting to get jetered because his range is getting limited.
Blame it on Mike Petriello.
Marcus Semien. You met Mike Petriello.
I did.
That's nice.
I had a great conversation with him. We talked about outs above average. We talked about DRS. I said, can you please just add a few like percentiles for me on that savant? He said no. So it's tough for me.
Kind of lame by both of you.
A little bit.
Congrats to Marcus Semien. This gets a little easier.
This one too. Does it?
/ it's a 2-horse race.
It's a 2-horse race. And you know what? I'm happy you said that because I was thinking, were you going to throw Volpe in here? And you're not.
I love what Anthony Volpe has been doing.
Okay.
He is making great strides as a baseball player.
I like him too.
What Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt Jr. have been doing is special. And a final assist to Corey Seager, who decided to end the month by homering in every game he played in. So you might see him later. But right now, it's his player comp, Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah.
And Bobby Witt Jr. For Seattle, which You can go shot for shot with these two. Bobby Witt Jr., the batting average has a gap. The stolen bases have a bit of a gap, although the caught stealings, Gunnar can punch back. Gunnar Henderson with 18 home runs by the end of the month to Bobby Witt's 9. Bobby Witt Jr. has more runs. They have the same RBI. If you start going extra base hits, Bobby Witt Jr.'s right there with doubles and a couple more triples. I think defensively, Bobby Witt gets a little bit of a head nod, although I think Gunner's got got some highlights this year.
Bobby's in the 100th percentile of outs above average. He's got 10 already. You mentioned batting average, but on base percentage, they're almost identical. 359, 368 for Bobby Witt Jr. leading that. This is tough for me because Bobby Witt's played so well, and I love watching him play. And he also, I think, hit 2 homers last night, which doesn't matter. We didn't even know that until I just said it.
Still don't know that.
I think as close as it is, I think Gunnar has done enough to get my vote. He does lead in OPS. He does lead in, they're split the F and B war. Weighted runs created plus. Gunnar has him. Runs driven in, they're almost identical. This is tough, man. This is tough.
This is a little fake clickbaity. Should we be doing more about the young shortstops in baseball? Like, dude, Jeter, Nomar, Rod was such a thing.
Yeah.
It's tough company. But, like, Gunnar,
I think we're doing
top prospect, has been going nuts.
We're not doing a lot about it?
Even if I want to throw Volpe in the mix. Bobby Witt Jr.'s insane. Ellie De La Cruz. Like, we've got a crop of young shortstops. I don't know. I might have to put Dalton on research on it because I wonder if that's one of those things you feel like you could say every year. Wow, Angel Baroa. Should we be talking more about him?
Oh, my gosh.
But I don't know. It feels like there's a next crew of shortstops that are already here.
The more I look at these statistics, the more confused I get. I mean, both these guys have just played MVP caliber baseball. Like these are like
yes,
maybe I have to. I'm just spitballing here off the top of my head. These are like maybe 2 of the top 4 MVP candidates in all of baseball.
4 or 5, yeah.
You're talking Judge, 4. You're talking Soto, you're talking these two.
Yes.
So having to choose between them,
Big Salvi Perez.
I don't know. I mean,
he'll get votes.
Yeah, he's top 10. But this is probably the hardest decision I think we'll have to make today. I think I'm going to go Gunnar. And that's not easy to do.
You know what? I'll put it into the gods for this one because I don't think Bobby Witt Jr. is getting appreciated properly.
Okay.
I think we kind of got used to Gunnar and Baltimore being successful. The transformation Kansas City has gone through, and I think Bobby Witt Jr. is a massive amount of that. You could point it.
You can say something about Gunnar and the Orioles.
He is in middle top of that.
We could each just point and shoot at stats that I'll go Bobby Witt Jr. and I'll make BBD say one name.
Love that.
This is the only one I tried to preview. I've been going back and forth for a couple days. I do just have a Bobby Witt lean. It's the little Royals magic. Their triple slash on the whole is very similar, but I'll give a slight edge to some batting average there. But they're so close.
Congrats, Bobby Witt.
Close.
Gunnar Henderson now out for Silver Daisy.
Out. Could look back and be brutal.
Well,
could not.
He could get the fan vote. That can save a daisy.
The util fan vote.
Okay, he's going to win that.
Always finds a way.
Last month, Bobby Witt did win the fan vote.
Okay, so Bobby Witt going for that. Let's finish off the infield. Jordan Westberg. I swear some of these get easy. Well, the whole outfield, luckily, is pretty easy. American League first base, Rafael Devers, who decided to go on that all homers diet for a little bit. Isaac Paredes.
He's doing it.
Respect on his name.
Yeah.
His stats are silly. So are Jose Ramirez. Perennially. Is that the right word? Annually? Perennially? Are they the same?
I think so.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Annually means year. Perennial means maybe a little bit less descriptive. Not exactly a year, but a time period. And that I just made up off the top of my head.
Your defending champ
Always there.
is Jordan Westberg. All of these guys have OPSs between 859 and 901. I think all these guys play a fine hot corner.
This is tough.
I think there's some range between them. Yeah, I mean, Devers to J-Ram Westberg, I think there's a little bit of a gap, a little backhanded compliment. It's tough to ignore. It's tough to ignore some of your like pre thoughts.
Okay. This is another very difficult. If we're just going by statistics and we're talking numbers here, people, which we kind of are, right. I think Jose Ramirez has enough of a separator for me to kind of, at first glance, say I think he deserves it. He's got the most runs driven in.
Yeah.
He's got the most runs scored. He's got the most home runs.
Stolen bases.
He's got the most stolen bases. The highest slug. He's been hurt in OBP, but I think his May was really, really good. He's on the team that I believe is maybe second or third with runners in scoring position.
Oh, you love that.
Well, I mean, that's how you win games. Now, I do expect, some teams to come back down to earth, but like he's, I think more than anybody on this list, Jose Ramirez is a reason why his team is in first place.
I have everything you said is right. And as you scroll over the scene, like Devers, again, I know this isn't a stat people care about as much anymore. Devers has 26 RBI to J-Ram's 57.
Why do you not care about?
That's a month.
It's a silly thing for people to say, I don't care about runs batted in.
When we take over the Diamondbacks or the Rockies, and we tell our front office we want more RBI and our team wins the NL West, they're going to be like, these guys broke the sport.
Well,
runs batted in? I have a useless anecdote. BBD, remember this for Talkin' Yanks. Stanton did the interview after the game last night, and Stanton, everyone think about that life cycle, going from MVP to like second fiddle to now he's like third fiddle. Doesn't do as many interviews as he used to.
Sure.
Especially, bad years the past couple seasons. He came out, he had to answer a ton of Luis Gil questions, which like one or two you expect, but he got a lot. There was a point where Stanton was kind of like, yeah, kid's good. Yeah. Like I'm here.
Yeah. We're talking about a pitcher. I don't do that.
So you could have just interviewed him.
And then
he's here.
He had a good retort. One of the reporters almost tried to get him, and they were like, "Hey, Stanton, besides homers, what have you been doing well this year?" Which, that's kind of
a backhand.
That's kind of a douchey question when you think about it. I'm sorry, whoever asked that. And you saw Stanton, like, his eyebrows turned and like, oh, yeah, buddy, you want less of the home runs and you want something else? And he goes, Stan, what he also does have, his numbers with runners in scoring position are really good. So he was like, well, when there's guys on base, I'm getting the job done.
That's right.
And I was like, yeah, Stan, drop that right on his forehead. Counting stats matter, and J-Ram is winning every single one of them that I think it's Jose Ramirez.
I'm going Jose Ramirez.
Kind of everything I want out of my third baseman, Jose Ramirez. Most doubles, most homers.
Step up your defense, Jose.
Striking out the least.
Don't make me talk about it. Step it up a little.
He's Barry Bonds.
Better. Swiping bags.
Congrats to Jose Ramirez. Knocks Jordan Westberg off the third base mantle for now. Does name recognition matter? No, counting stats matter.
Say Matt Vierling's name. He's played a little bit third base.
Make that a shirt. You're going to hear more about Matt Vierling later. First, I have to tell you about the American League Outfield, brought to you by Ridge Wallet. We got a couple of Ridge Wallets floating around the outfield. One or two of them. Oh, there's Beebs with the Yanks Ridge Wallet. Oh, ask for the toss. Look at that. Oh, God. Upside down. Well, for the cards, but the Ridge logo. Ridge Wallet. If you're anyone that's ever used or had a wallet, Ridge Wallet could be for you. And they're in the baseball game. They're with MLB. They've got all 30 teams. You think you're a fan? Know what shows you're a fan when you go, oh, yeah, oops, Whoopsies. There's my logo. And Father's Day is coming up. Everyone's always looking for a Father's Day gift. What a good dad move.
Oh, dads love wallets.
Oh, Yankees?
I would love this wallet.
That's
if
where I
my
keep
kids
my
got me
card.
this wallet, I'd be like, that's a nice gift.
Honestly, you with the Twins, one of those?
I have one.
It's a little baller.
I have one.
Oh, yeah, I was on the team. 100K 5-star reviews. Don't love it after 99 days. Send it back. No questions asked. Head to ridge.com/JohnBoy to snag yours today. They're offering markdowns of up to 30% for Father's Day. That's ridge.com/JohnBoy. Click the link in the description. If you're new to the All-JM team, welcome. Welcome home.
Time.
We'll see you every month. Time.
I use the restroom.
Trevor, the good news is American League Outfield will probably be our easiest moment of the day. I think we get to highlight 2 MVP candidates, and I don't want to overstep my bounds, but I think an Abe Lincoln MFer.
What about Wilyer Abreu? We're not talking Wilyer?
If you're new to the show, you do need a center fielder. Luckily, Aaron Judge, the 6'7", 290-pound guy, does that for the Yankees while having one of the best months in baseball history. He plays on the... Hey, Jake Myers and J.J. Bleday. Good seeing you on the sheet.
It's tough.
Good seeing you on the
for
sheet.
you guys.
Center field's different.
It's not different. It's different because Aaron Judge is playing center field.
The guy that plays to Aaron Judge's left, stage right, is Juan Soto, who is the only guy staying toe-to-toe with him this season.
Yes.
And then, yeah, if you're a listener of the show, you know I was referencing Kyle Tucker, who's the only other guy with WAR in the 3s. He was leading home runs for a while. He also steals bases. He also plays very good defense. That Trev, I love your guy, Wilyer Abreu. Stephen Kwan was banged up for a little bit. Taylor Ward's on here. I don't stop the fight.
Yeah, no, this is a 3-horse race. It's Judge, it's Soto, it's Tucker. These guys have been the guys for quite some time.
Yeah, a little bit.
So no need to discuss it really further and just saying congrats. Should we even read some of these stats? Because they're kind of nutty, some of them.
Whatever you see, because I
mean, Judge has 20 homers through May, and how many did he have in May? 14, right?
14.
That's insane. And Soto's been everything that the Yankees could ever ask for. And Kyle Tucker continues to basically push himself out of Houston, I think. Like, where is he going to go? Is Uncle Stevie just going to say whatever you want? I don't know. So, yeah, snaps for those 3 guys.
That's easy.
That'd be fun.
Sometimes you get an easy one. It's 3 of the best players in baseball, so there's a weird part of me that feels like I'm not highlighting them enough, but that's the great game. Congrats to them. At designated hitter, Jordan won it last month. He is competing against Ryan O'Hearn, who mashes right-handed pitching. Giancarlo Stanton, who we just referenced, who's hitting homers. Everything else is kind of lacking a little bit, unless those runners are on. Brent Rooker, Trev.
Yeah, I think this one's quick, too.
I think you're right. What the hell did Brent Rooker do last month?
He's always had
Twins
this in
legend.
him. He's always had this in him. He's very much a student of the game, very into, swing mechanics and all that good stuff. I mean, he's kind of a masher, man. And he gets lost because he's playing for Oakland.
Yeah.
West Coast on a team that nobody cares about right now, but he's out there doing his thing. So I think, all the stats support it. I mean, he's got more runs driven in. He's got more Stan has more homers than him, but he's got 11 homers through May. The OPS, the FWAR, like he's got it for me.
330 batting average in May, 407 on base, 997 OPS in May. He outplayed Jordan.
He did.
Designated hitter, hitting's important. All 3 triple slash lines. He's got the best. His OPS is in the 9s. The other 3 nominees are in the 7s.
If you're someone just listening along, we love you. Jordan's OPS at the end of May, 792. Brent Rooker, 905. It's not. You'd think it would be more of a fair fight, and Jordan's coming. But congrats to Brent Rooker.
This is kind of crazy. Uncharted territory for Jordan. Who did he win it? Who won it in April?
He got April, and then he had a big slump at one point in May. He had like an 0 for a week and a half or so.
Well, congratulations, Brent Rooker.
Congrats, Brent. So for our final AL position, it's a weird mix. We've made it a fan vote. Again, all JM is constantly evolving. We want to hear what you guys got. I think we have to include Gunnar Henderson.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I wasn't here last episode for this.
Yes,
so
that's right.
Yes.
The best remaining player that we didn't have. So
It
Gunnar
can
Henderson,
be a circle back, a correction.
David Fry.
I think David Fry is in because
Yes.
he's been
Mashing.
one of the best players in baseball and a true util. Your guy Matt Vierling has played great, Trev. Honestly,
Those two guys.
I might just put it to those two.
What about Jordan Westberg? I think probably deserves to be in there as well.
If you want.
But
Westberg,
comparing
he's
him to
racking
Gunnar,
more.
If we're putting Gunnar Henderson in there,
Right.
it's Gunnar Henderson.
Teammates.
You're just splitting bird votes at that point.
So the fans are voting for this.
The fans
Yeah,
are voting.
The fans get to vote.
Fans, I mean, it's a pretty easy one for you guys.
Is it?
It is. We just said Gunnar Henderson was a top 4 MVP guy. I don't think we said that about David Fry. I don't think we said that about Jordan Westberg.
Not yet.
You can toss out Tuve on there, but we didn't say that about him either for this year.
I'm curious. Let's move on to starting pitcher. I'm very curious to see where you lie in here because there are some guys that have been throwing the you-know-what out of the ball.
Luis Heel, Tanner Houck, and Seth Lugo all have ERAs in the ones. Corbin Burns has been Corbin Burns this year, 72.2 innings. Tarek Skubal, dark horse for Cy Young this year, has been living up to the billing. Luis Heel has been on a historic pace recently. Seth Lugo has been breaking baseball, essentially. And Tanner Houck has an argument.
This is crazy.
Above all of them. Wow.
Tanner Houck won it last month.
Here's what I'll say. I hate to do this to a guy that has me looking into temporary neck tattoos. Luis Hill gets innings for me, or gets eliminated because of innings.
Because of the inning.
Houck and Lugo both have 78 innings.
Yeah, but
Luis Hill has 63.
I mean, it was one less start. It was one less start.
I think, again, that helps Tanner and Seth.
Well, he just might have missed it by one day.
Okay, so give Luis Hill a 6-inning start, and he's still...
I get that. He's still there. The thing that gets me for Luis Hill is he's only given up 29 hits on the year. The opponent's batting average against is crazy.
He's a sick puppy.
I just saw him pitch last night and carved my Twins up.
That was in May, or that was in June.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that.
The walks are what gets him. Sure. He is effectively wild, if you will.
He is.
So I'm okay with taking him out, and I could say we're going to go with a 2-horse race here. Houck and Lugo. I'm looking.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
If we're eliminating Heel, I'd feel compelled to eliminate Skubal for the same reason.
This is where I go then. If we're going between those two guys, I mean, they're almost identical in innings pitched, hits against, but the walk rate is better. I mean, that's pretty close too. The homers per 9, Tanner Houck has. God, they're really close. They're way closer than I thought it was going to be.
Right?
Yeah. Same number of quality starts.
The whip is under 1 for Tanner Houck. It's .96, but Seth Lugo's at 101. The FIP, Tanner Houck kind of runs away with that at a 2.16 compared to Seth Lugo's 3.22.
I'm going to cast my vote. I'm Tanner Houck. This guy pitches his home games at Fenway. Like, if you start going into ERA plus and FIP, he's the guy. And, dude, we're picking rabbits out of a hat here.
What does that mean?
Like, there's no wrong...
Magic?
There's no wrong answer between these two.
I don't think that's what picking rabbits out
It's
of
not. It's not. That's magic. You're right. There's no wrong answer is what normal humans would have said. I'm going Houck. I think there's something to pitching with that in Fenway Park. A walk and a fly ball can be 2 runs. And he has been nothing short of special. So I'm Houcking.
Yeah, I mean, like Seth Lugo's had an incredible start to the year. The 1 home run given up through 12 starts is awesome. And again, you don't walk anybody and you don't give up home runs and you still strike people out. Yeah, Houck has it for me.
Who has the 1 home run off of Tanner Houck?
Ooh,
fun game. Let's see. Tanner Houck putting something together.
I want to say it was like a righty to right field, if I remember correctly.
No.
It was not. You have it up?
Taylor Ward.
Righty, okay.
Got him in April to left field.
Okay.
Angels won.
It was in Anaheim? Or was it in Fenway? At Fenway.
It was in Fenway.
Okay.
In Fenway. Angels won that game.
Shout out to Jack Flaherty, I believe, leading the AL in strikeouts right now. Our guy, your fingerprints are all over him.
Scooble also, sometimes we become ERA hoes. 0.82 whip.
Yeah.
That guy. But again, think about
Scooble's ERA ain't bad.
towing the slab for a home game and you're at Comerica versus Fenway.
It's different.
What do you think as a hitter?
It's different. I mean, look, Fenway gets big at some points. Like right center's big. That weird pyramid thing out there, triangle thing out there. But yeah, I mean, it's different. It's different.
Talking pyramids.
It's a ballpark you pitch.
I am Egyptian by marriage.
It's true.
Egyptians fuck with me heavy.
At least twice. Congrats to the All-JM AL team. Let's get to our familia in the National League. I referenced this very early in the episode, and if you've known the story of Will Smith on the All-JM team, it's perennially just getting inched out by someone.
Yeah, that's so true.
And I think Sir William Contreras is doing that again.
Yes.
Elias Diaz? Elias? I think Elias. Elias?
Bieber's he'll check that out for you.
Kelsey Winger, let us know. JT Realmuto, always on the list.
Hot boy list.
Those two are getting outplayed. Him and Reese, grab-assing at home plate. How do you not like that?
2 slaps
Elias
on the
Diaz.
William Contreras and Will Smith. Trev, I'll let you run through the conversation. And with a sad tone in my voice, I'll let you know it is William Contreras for me. Just because every stat he has him by a half inch.
Just a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, look.
Brutal, dude.
William is they're both possibly in the MVP conversation, but William is, like I said, just in every single statistic. I mean, you can go down to walk percentage, but the OBP is there. You have a catcher here with an almost 400 OBP through May at a 394. He's slugging 502, so Will Smith has him there at 511. The OPSs are so similar, 896 for William, 869 for Will Smith. Let's go look at the Savant fielding values. And, I think I'm also Contreras, but I just want to see.
Okay. What are you looking at?
The Savant fielding value.
Okay.
So William right now is in the 20th percentile, -2 outs above average. The base running also very low, which you expect from a catcher. Now I'm going to go to Will Smith.
4 stolen bases, 0 caught stealings for William Contreras.
Okay.
Just an FYI for the people.
And I am getting it up right now, so
Will
bear
Smith,
with me.
Trev's getting it up.
The fielding run value is neutral for Will Smith, a 53rd percentile, 0 outs above average. The base running also low, 36th percentile. So we're going by hitting. We're going Williams Contreras.
Congrats, the trade that has blown our mind throughout the season. And yeah, a guy going for MVP. And Will Smith, I could see you even ending up on the fan vote. Because casual 5'11 slugging after Mookie, Shohei, Freddie. Like he gets overlooked, and he gets overlooked on this list, and it makes me pretty mad. But congrats to William Contreras, who's been incredible.
Catching fielding is so weird, bro. Yeah. There's the blocking, there's the framing. It all depends on your pitching staff, the umpire. Hey, I had CB Buckner 5 times, and he was giving this far off the plate. That helps your framing. I don't know. William, you won that one.
MVP candidate so far, William Contreras. At first base, I believe this is a 2.5 horse race. The other horse gets hurt by these two guys pretty much constantly. Shout out to my guy Jake Cronenworth, who people were talking about as a salary dump this offseason. He's been playing great. Frederick Freeman, always around. Bryce Harper, always around. And then Christian Walker, man, the offensive stats are in the building, and defensively, he is a stud. I do think he gets outshined by the two stars I mentioned before him that I think it's Freddie or Bryce.
This is a Will Smith, William Contreras situation. I think Bryce Harper is William in this instance. I mean, just a little bit better than Freddie in almost every statistic. He's got more homers, the same amount of runs, more runs driven in. He's got one more walk. The OPS is higher because of the slug, 895 for Bryce, 842 for Freddie. The F4 is at 2-1 to 1-6. The B wars are similar, are the same, 2-1, 2-1. Weighted runs created plus. Bryce has about 148 to 142 for Freddie. So I'm going to cast my vote for Bryce in a tight race. He just has him by a little bit.
You're unfortunately right. I have no bickering counter for you. Freddie is Freddie. Bryce is Bryce. Talk about favorite ice cream flavors. He's got him. 13 home runs to 6 home runs. That's a gap.
Power position.
That's a gap.
At first base, that's a big gap.
Freddie's got him in doubles because Freddie just is the double guy.
Always.
But the slug shows Bryce 520 to 452 for slug for Freddie.
When you're splitting up these guys, the numbers that it comes down to, Bryce Harper has him beat. He will knock. Did Frederick win? Yeah, Freddie won last month. So Freddie's out. Bryce is in. Congrats to Bryce Harper. First baseman Bryce Harper.
Bryce also slapped Reese Hoskins on the butt, too.
Yeah.
A lot of butt slapping in that game. So if you're into that, go check that game
There's
out.
a reason I watch. William Contreras also won it in April, so he keeps it rolling at NL catcher. Bryce baby takes over at first base. At second base, Ketel Marte won last month. He has a very good argument for the throne. Luis Ariz, who always ends up here, and the defense Ariz argument that we've done a lot. Tyro Estrada, my young sweet prince, is around. Bryce Turang, man.
Go get it, Bryce.
You like speed. You like
Bryce
defense.
I like watching him play. I really, really do.
298 batting average, 361 on base. I think this
He's
comes
in the conversation, bro.
It comes down for me. It comes down to him and Ketel. Rise. I know he's been great for San Diego, but again, like second base and the defense, and is he even playing second base? Tyro is a note off from these guys.
Bryson Stott is there.
Living in a one-horse town. I'll go.
Okay.
This is something I go to. I want to look one thing up. Because this turns into power versus speed a little bit. Turang, 19 stolen bases. That's one of the biggest numbers we've seen before we jump over to NL shortstop. Ketel Marte has been a massive part of the Snakes lineup in the Snakes season. Turang did take over the leadoff spot for Milwaukee for a little bit. He's now jumping between 9 and 1 a little bit. I want to get his month-by-month splits because I thought he slowed down. I was going to give my speech about Ketel and always being in the middle of the lineup, my Eddie Rosario theory, blah, blah, blah. Turang was leadoff a lot, so I don't know. What do you like?
If there wasn't a 19 stolen base to 1 stolen base difference, I think this is Ketel Marte, and we just move on. It snaps for him. That's really caught my eye. I do love, like I said, watching Bryce Turang play defense. Some of the expected stats, I know we don't always look at those. They're not great offensively for him. And if you're just looking at the counting stats, Ketel's kind of got him in most categories too. He's got more games played, so he's got more hits. He's got one more double. He's got 7 more home runs. He's got 13 more stolen bases. He's got 8 more runs driven in, same amount of walks. I think I'm casting my vote for Ketel Marte.
Whew. Beebs, give a vote because I've currently flip-flopped twice.
OPS is Ketel Marte. I mean, their same F WAR, B WAR goes Marte 3.1 to 2.5.
I was prepared to say a lot of things I really like about Terang and how Keen Ketel both right there. Something that's sticking out to me, I think, because Terang didn't get put into the leadoff spot regularly until this month. In only 3 more games, Marte's 50 plate appearances ahead. Like he's played more, which I think matters. Maybe you can take that as negative points on some counting stats, but for me it is Ketel. By a little bit. Another month of these numbers and stabilizing. And I'm very excited for that conversation.
I am fine giving it to Ketel. Both of these guys have platoon splits, so at first I was going to knock Ketel for that, but Terang has it too, but Terang has it on the better side. I love some steals.
Give it to Terang.
I'm giving my vote to Terang. Ketel gets it. And he stays.
Such a cop-out.
Yeah, you'd never do that.
I didn't start the
Such
episode
a homer.
off
Ryan Jeffers, the Twins player, the Twins catcher to start that.
His thighs are incredible.
Speaking of,
This one's easy.
Mookie Betts. Is that it? Do I need to say anything else?
I think that's it. I mean, he is playing a little bit of second base. He's going back and forth. The middle infielder, Mookie Betts, but primarily shortstop. The numbers are he's just kind of got the numbers.
Willie Adames coming hard.
Are these strikeout numbers right for some of these shortstops? De La Cruz and Ezekiel
You don't
Tovar?
like that Zeke and Ellie are striking out a little bit?
77 and 74. This is through May?
Let me
Are they going to
double-check.
strike out 300 times?
Ellie De La Cruz leads your National League in strikeouts and stolen bases.
Just from that, he's out for me.
Okay.
The strikeout percentage is unbelievable.
Tovar's getting his ticket punched too.
Those aren't sustainable. Like you can't have that.
Push can come to shove.
Is he like a 3 true outcome guy? Because he's walking at a decent clip too.
A note on Mookie, he kind of stopped mixing second base in this month. 1 start there in May.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking. Chris Rose wants Bo Bichette to go play shortstop for them. Move Mookie back to second base. Gavin Lux be part of the trade to Toronto, and I could see it happening.
I would put Bichette at second and keep Mookie at short.
Tomato.
Zeke Tovar deserves some love. He's doing some really good. That's a little Rockies effect. He's a 22-year-old shortstop that plays good defense and has been hitting this year. Ellie De La Cruz. People were talking about 100.
Well, hold on. We just back up real quick.
Yeah.
Brent Rooker has also a 33% strikeout percentage. So I have to mention that. I can't be.
But
he's a beefcake.
He has an OPS over 100 points higher than his competitors.
Yes.
So that's what he's doing out there. Ellie had a really tough May.
What are we even talking about, Coach? It's Mookie Betts.
It's Mookie. I like highlighting players. It's Mookie Betts.
Shout out
Rockies
Willie
fans
Adames.
are overall excited about Tovar, and there's ways to cut up that rookie year. And
Willie
this year's taking a
Adames.
step.
I like Willie.
Willie's coming. I had him getting traded to the Dodgers and said they'll play him in the postseason.
Yeah.
Shady Rays, the official sunglasses of my postseason.
You look great.
When I get out of this office, it's Shady Rays. Flex on everyone a little bit, besides my Shady Ray sunglasses. Shout out to that new Zendaya movie, but I got tag teamed on the train ride home yesterday.
What?
One guy over here, one guy over here. They each pull out the headphone at the same time. Jake? And we were just yucking ball on the train, and I was doing that in my Shady Rays.
Whoops.
Summer's here, dude.
So you're on the train with your shades? You wear your shades inside?
Oh, yeah.
Who would
On the
ever do
subway?
that? Who would ever do that?
I need to.
You're going to wear sunglasses this summer. Give Shady Rays a chance. They've been partners with us for a while. Really cool company, really good people, and they make an amazing product with a lost or broken replacement guarantee. So if you lose or break them, they'll send you a new pair on the house. Go to ShadyRays.com. They're giving their best deal of the season. Code Talkin, 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized sunglasses. That offer applies to the custom Jimmy and Jake shades. You're going to wear sunnies this summer. Please do it with Shady Rays. They're the best. And so is Mookie Betts. So maybe that was the segue there. Third base, Alec Bohm. Kind of ran away with it last month. He was dominant. He stays hitting. That batting average is over 300. Ryan McMahon has entered the chat. Okay, Rocky's left side of the infield.
Okay.
I smell you. What up, Kels?
They were like winning some series.
A new contender has entered the arena. Corbin Burns out of the AL.
Yeah, little baby kangaroo.
Starting pitcher count, Joey Ortiz.
Yeah.
bad.
He's Australian, isn't he?
That was bad.
He's not Australian?
That's Curtis Mead.
Oh, okay.
That's Curtis Mead.
Oh, that's Luke Hughes.
Hit up Joe's McFly for his rookie card.
That's Sledge.
Joey Ortiz. Trev, these numbers are silly.
He's doing it, Coach. He's doing it, Coach.
891 OPS.
As I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, I think we're going to go Bohm here. Like the extra base hits are there. All these things that he's doing, Philadelphia, what they're doing. But so you'd say the same exact thing about Joey Ortiz, that little baby kangaroo.
So there's a games gap here, or I should say an at-bat gap here.
Yes.
Alec Bohm has 215 at-bats this year. Joey Ortiz has 139.
This is through May.
This is through May. And, okay, see, I was about to hand this over to Joey Ortiz because not batting average, but on-base percentage, slugging, he's got Bohm by a little bit that I was like, dude, I think it's this cat. There is Alec Bohm has 26 more hits on the season. Alec Bohm has double the doubles. 22 doubles for Alec Bohm. Sometimes we get intimidated by that home run number and we ignore the doubles. They have the same amount of homers while Alec Bohm has double the doubles. I was ready to hand the keys to Joey. Maybe it's next month, but it's Alec Bohm for me.
I think so too. I mean, Joey didn't start the year off playing every single day. That's why he has those, the numbers aren't there. If I told you that he was from like a famous Sublime song city, what would you say?
He's from Santeria, California.
We took this trip to... Don't sing it. That's all we can sing.
Don't want to get copyrighted.
Garden Grove, California. Didn't know that. I had no idea about that. I think Bohm has it just because he has been playing every single day. And Joey will get there. I think if we give him time, like through June, we might be singing a different story. But as of now... I think we applaud Joey and what he's done.
Welcome to the conversation.
Yeah, well, saying, Bohm, you still got it. All the counting stats are there, and we take those into consideration here. Yeah.
Bohm's last month, and get somewhere between those two. But the other thing that stuck out is Joey Ortiz doing most of his damage this year. The 6, 8, and 9 spots are most of his starts. So what do you mean to your team's lineup more often? He's mixing in up top a little bit. I think you've seen him in the leadoff spot versus some lefties. So, Ortiz, you're getting there.
Let's see the next step for the young Aussie, Joey Ortiz.
Alec Bohm, a lot of 3, 4, 5.
Alec Bohm, flicking off the city, and now flicking off baseball. Trev, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox, if you don't mind.
Is that a religion?
DH.
Yeah.
It's Shohei and Ozuna, although Jock and Schwarber have been fantastic. And it's Shohei again because Shohei is a little better in every stat, and he's the fastest guy in baseball. 13 stolen bases, 0 caught stealing
Marcel's
for
closer
Shohei.
than I thought, though.
I mean, all of the big bopper stats, Marcel's toe for toe.
Wow. Walks to strikeout, same thing.
They're almost mirror numbers. Again, I think Shohei is a baby step better than Marcel with that. When you get to the speed, it is Shohei.
Every number is this. 393 OBP through June for Shohei, 388 for Marcel, 607 slug for Shohei, 601 for Ozuna. 1 dot on the nose for Shohei through June. 989 for Ozuna. But yeah, the speed does make a difference, and I think it snaps for Shohei.
Team option, 16 mil for Marcel next year.
I think they're going to just go, push that button.
Opt in. Congrats to Shohei. Although he had a slower month, but he'll be there. Trev, I did that because the NL outfield is a straight-up disaster.
It's a mess.
National League, get it together. What are we doing, baby?
What is we doing, baby?
Trev,
I think we got one for sure.
We need to pick a center fielder between Cobell, Jazz, and Brenton Doyle.
I think Jurickson Profar, we can just snap. He's getting one of the outfield spots.
You are right. That opening was rude to Profar, who bolts to nuts, farm to table, has been the best National League outfielder this year.
He's going to be an all-star.
I know that feels weird to say, but it's just true. And it's the beautiful thing about this game sometimes. So congrats, Jurickson. He has one of the corner outfield spots.
Yes.
We need a center fielder, and we need another player. Let's do center field and try to be whatever we can be. Cody Bellinger has missed a bit of time. His offensive profile is slightly better than probably Jazz Chisholm and Brenton Doyle's, although if we did OPS S+ with the stolen bases, it would not be. Which for me, I think this becomes a Jazz and Brenton Doyle conversation, which Brenton Doyle and Jurickson Profar were part of the outfield last month with Mike Talkman.
That's
National League!
That's insane.
Another month didn't fix this?
Not really.
Not
really.
We've had funky April winners before.
Doyle, Profar, and Talkman, do they combine to make $2 million this year?
I know that.
So does Shohei. God damn it.
Those pesky Dodgers. Oh, man. Yeah, this one's really tough because I think they're two different types of players, Doyle and Chisholm. Doyle gets a lot of his value usually from base pass and defense. A lot of people say he's one of the best defenders in all of baseball, the way he goes and gets it out there. But the offense has been decent, at least comparable this year to some other guys. I think I'm going to lean Brenton Doyle here because I want a defensive first center fielder and having that guy go track it down and course. Does that make him... Is it better for him because he has so much ground to cover? Like, I think it's easier for him to rack up defense. So there's that aspect to it.
The balls hang there.
Oh, man. So this is really, really tough. Jazz has him beat in a lot of counting stats. More hits, one more double. He's got more homers than him. Doyle has him in runs scored, but Jazz has him by a lot in runs driven in. Doyle has been stolen bases 14 to Jazz as 11. It's difficult, man. This is OPS Jazz 773, Doyle 766. The WARs, they split F4 and B WAR together. Jazz has been weighted runs created plus. I just taught myself in the Jazz Chisholm, so I'm going to go Jazz Chisholm for center fielder.
My one game theory that got shot down a little earlier by you, and we ended up flip-flopping on it. This might be rude to Brenton Doyle. For one game, I'd rather have Jazz Chisholm.
A little pop.
He's a threat. And that's rude to Doyle, who's having a nice year.
And the thing, Doyle did have it last year. I don't think he's a Silver Daisy candidate. So I don't mind taking him off of the mantle, if you will.
I hate it.
Feel like gun to my head, are Doyle's counting stats that far behind Jazz? No, he's in the neighborhood on everything. But
dude, you bring in runs, and they're very similar. Well, let me check one thing.
Okay.
Jazz Chisholm, and this is a theory I just mentioned, is the Marlins offense.
Yeah.
Like, when you game plan against the Marlins, or if they're going to win a game, which they haven't done a lot of, it's Jazz Chisholm. Brenton Doyle, in the month of after May 8th, he never batted above 5th. A lot of 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
I know he's a defense first.
Yeah.
Outfielder. I know what we're splitting. Jazz can be polarizing. I think he's been the better. I think if you're doing an all JM team, I think you'd want Jazz on it. So I will go Jazz Chisholm in center field as well. Sorry, Brenton Doyle.
All right.
Still in the mix.
Jazz.
So Jurickson Profar, Jazz Chisholm.
We've always been a J team.
So are the Marlins.
Yeah.
Trev, I'll read some names quick. You tell me what you see. And there is one just absolute wild card candidate.
I'm picking the wild card candidate.
Really?
Yeah. I know we usually talk about
Sticking out to
games
me.
played, but when he's been on the field has been so much better than anybody on this list. And the games played it's not too crazy. So I am going to pick Christian Yelich for the last spot in the outfield. He's just better than everybody else by far in this NL outfield when he's been on the field. Like, by far.
Let me read some names. Teoscar Hernandez, Brandon Nimmo, Brian Rendles, Tatis, Mike Tauchman returns to the list. Yelly's OPS is more than 150 points higher, more than 170 points higher than everyone you mentioned.
The weighted runs created plus, the F4, B-WAR, he's like similar or higher than, and he's played in less games. I think that he's been very, very meaningful. We always talk, if the Brewers are going to go, Yelich has to play at an MVP level. He's at that level right now.
The two names that jump out for me are Tatis and Teoscar. Mm-hmm. Teoscar has 12 homers.
Yes.
11 doubles. He's putting in work. Fernando, you just want the whole offensive profile to be a little bit better, but this is also a guy that plays good defense. Final Yelly research. Otherwise, I think I'm going. Yelly played like all of May. He missed a few weeks in April. He's been incredible.
Incredible.
Been so good, and nobody else is like
Yeah, if somebody was
really
running.
gone at all.
Yeah.
If anybody else is in like the 800s.
You want to know what's hilarious? Do you remember which game was Christian Yelich's last of May?
Last of May?
It was a standout performance.
5 for 5?
His 5-hit day.
On Friday. With the block ball double down the line. I asked him about that because I'll take all of them, coach.
Was the last game of May.
A little 5 for 5er to push him over the top. It was 5 for 6, I think.
There's some team stuff. I feel like Teoscar in that bottom of the lineup has been the problem for the Dodgers at certain points this year. Someone come and take it. Congrats, Christian Yelich. NL outfield. What are we doing?
What are we doing in the outfield?
This is supposed to be like the stars of stars. I guess the Dodgers moved Mookie to the infield.
Yeah. There's that.
that?
Ronald Acuña's hurt and wasn't playing well.
Who else do we need to step up as an NL out? Fernando.
Fernando needs to go. I'm trying to think of other guys.
Doyle.
For what the narrative around Tatis' season has been
Like
about
Nimmo-
him kind
Nimmo
of
needs to go.
underachieving.
Belly a little bit.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
Do the Braves have anyone else? Like,
Money Mike, yeah.
Bizarre.
All these guys need to get going.
bizarre.
Nimmo, the numbers.
Corbin
are
Carroll's
surprising.
down. Like, obviously, that's a big one.
Corbin Carroll was crazy numbers last year. Wow. Okay, so who do we want to leave for our fan vote?
I think Ozuna has to be there. He was among the fan vote last
Ozuna
month.
fan vote.
Ozuna.
Bryce Terang?
And Willie Adames, I think, should be there.
If you had to pick Terang or Adames, I don't want to.
I think I'm going to Adames.
Okay. Then let's go Willie.
Yeah.
And let's put Will Smith on there.
Yeah.
Oh, and Fred. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, Freddie, sure.
And we can. Last month we narrowed it down to 4.
All right, go Will Smith, Freddie, Willie Adames, and I'm missing a big one. Oh,
Marcel.
Ozuna.
Okay, put those 4 out there. See what the people do.
Ozuna, Adames, Freddie, Will Smith.
And as we come down to the
think
last
that's right.
starting pitcher, we got to highlight some of these guys, but I think I have one that I think is the best.
Yeah, and some baby snaps for our original util standouts. Connor Joe has been great for Pittsburgh. Spencer Steer has been okay. And Luis Ariz, we never really know what to do with that. He might just
ever know.
He might just be on the all Luis Ariz team.
Yeah.
Trev, the National League starting pitchers: Tyler Glasnow, Shota Imanaga, Chris Sale, Ranger Suarez, and Zach Wheels Up Wheeler. You have one?
I think Ranger Suarez is the guy.
You're right.
I think you're right.
I think he's been the best pitcher in baseball.
I think Shota had a blow up start.
Yeah.
His last one, where he apologized to Craig Counsell, and he might have taken it, but with that blow up start, Ranger just kind of has everything going. Shout out Chris Sale for having a .85 whip, but Ranger Suarez has a .82 whip. He's got the strike. I mean, he's just got everything. I think he's just a little bit better than everybody on this list right now.
Fields his position.
Oh, with the best of them. With the best of them.
Check out Jimmy's 3
Has he
things.
ever won a Gold Glove?
About to.
Max Fried is alive. And Max Fried, he's got to be coming soon because he's been absolutely balling out.
Another month of this, and I think he'll be on our short list.
But I'm going Ranger Suarez here. These other guys have been. There's been a lot of really good pitching performances. I mean, around the league offense is down, which means league pitching is up. But I think Ranger has been the best.
Max Fried is 4 months of playing healthy baseball away from becoming one of your richest friends.
Yeah, I can't wait. Take me to dinner, bro. I used to take this guy to dinner.
Right.
Now you come to me.
Pay it forward, Max.
All those guys have made way more money than I did. Flaherty, Giolito, and Max. Bring it, baby.
Didn't realize the strikeouts got to 13. It's June. That's a June game.
It's a June game. Ranger Suarez, congrats. Yeah, you've been, might be our NL starter. Shota would be electric. People care about that. Yeah. Shout-outs, Javier Assad, Dylan C., Sonny Gray hanging around, and Reynaldo Lopez. Why wasn't...
Yeah.
He probably should have been on
really,
this list.
really good pitching performances.
Should have been in on this.
We did it.
We did it. It's early in the year. It's still grindy, but we're grinders. So, with that, a final sweep. In the American League, Salvador Perez behind the dish, Josh Naylor at first base, Marcus Semien snuck up on us at second base, Gunnar Henderson. Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt took it.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Witt we have Gunnar
That's
in
crazy.
the util.
I'm projecting him to win the fan vote,
Yeah,
but
it's one of those
that's up to you guys.
political season.
I think that was we
projected
had two
nightmare.
Yeah. Split vote.
Jose
CNN's
Ramirez
calling
at third base, the easiest spot to do. Soto, Judge, and Kyle Tucker in your outfield. Brent Rooker at designated hitter. With Tanner Houck as your starting pitcher, the fan vote between David Fry and Gunnar. Can't wait to see those results. In the National League, William Contreras behind the dish, Bryce Harper at first base, Ketel Marte at second, Mookie Betts, your shortstop, Alec Boehm at third. In the outfield, Jazz Chisholm, Jurickson Profar, and
Step
Christian
it up,
Yelich.
NL outfield.
Shohei Ohtani's at DH. That's obvious. Ranger Suarez on the bump. And a big fan vote there. Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Willie Adames gets the nod for you, and Marcel the Bear Ozuna. Baseball fans, we thank you so much. Soon these guys are going to be starting. All-star voting's going to happen soon.
I'll say it's next week or so, right?
Let's see some friends of the family.
Chick sucks.
Beautiful. Olivia just texted me.
Okay.
End of April, you said both starting pitchers we picked would still be in line for daisies in a month.
Yeah?
I would have said, oh, probably not.
Oh.
That's good right there. That's just good old-fashioned brother-sister stuff right there.